Good morning, San Francisco, and good afternoon, evening, everyone joining online. Welcome to the periodic table of Git. I'm Matteo Bianchi. I'm a solutions engineer at GitHub. I'm coming to you online. I live in Amsterdam, but I'm originally from Italy, the land where pineapple pizza is a bit controversial. I know you will have some of that at least this week. I would have loved to be with you in SF, but after crossing once too many times time zones this year, I decided to deliver this talk online. Fun fact, I used to be a Twitch streamer, so keep the kappas coming in the chat if you are following online. And well, in my day-to-day, I still do some coding. I prefer to use the command line, so I really know what is happening behind the scenes. I don't really like slides, but I have just three, I promise. I'm a Git user and a Git lover, I would say. I do open source in Kubernetes, so I use also Git in the open. I want to see today if I can influence a little bit how you see Git in general. And by the end of this talk, I hope you'll have an extra tool, maybe even to explain Git to your friends, to your parents, grandparents, maybe, in a simple way. And this will be done through an actual periodic table. It will be a website that I will share very, very soon. So, story time, a little bit about my encounter with Git back in 2015. So, not really a long, long time ago. Because, yes, I worked for like 5, 6 years on very legacy stuff, and Git was not a thing. We would share folders and do diffs with like just WinDiff and stuff like that. Not great. But well, when I encountered Git the first time, I was building some WordPress websites for local shops, and I was attending high school for the first time at the same time. And back then, my version control system was again folders, zip files, named maybe website final. Please do not delete it. It works. And I had some problems with my versioning. One day, our IT professor wrote very, very large on the blackboard versioning. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. That's exactly the problem I'm having. So yeah, started taking notes on my good old Notepad++ because that's what cool kids would use back then. And I created my first Git repo. My first Git repo that was about Git, that's very meta, I know. I was taking notes through that. I didn't figure out at first how to actually push in the remote. So for a long time, I only had it in my laptop. And later on, I switched to Atom, so no more Node++. So for years, that repo have been my personal wiki, a little bit, I would say. And every time I discovered a new command, I would just add it, add an explanation in Italian. So I will spare you that part. I translated every explanation afterwards. And well, I gained in time when I started being a professional in the IT world, a little bit of the title of Git expert in some companies, because I was the only one that was able to basically do a rebase and that was not super scared of doing a force push afterwards to like fix some merge conflicts. So fast forward to this year. Why did I decide to deliver this talk? I have a very dear friend who's a chemist in an industrial lab, and he was like, I want to switch career, so I should learn the basics. So I explained a little bit of Linux and a little bit of, well, programming in general. And then I was like, oh, you should learn Git. I think that's fundamental. And he was like, yeah, sure. I would like to learn Git. So I gave him some resources and he came back to me, hey, I don't understand really what this is. Like, can I get a practical thing? And I was like, okay, maybe I should turn this into chemistry. So I was like, yeah, let's take Git commands and turn them into something like a periodic table. So maybe we can understand a little bit better. And that's exactly what I did. So finally, the table. Drum roll, please, if I can get it from the audience. But this is the periodic table of Git. So in chemistry, elements are grouped. So I decided to create a little bit, this is arbitrary. Like, again, I decided to create some groups. It's not really accurate chemistry, of course, but group one is the basic commands and some little extra that I think it's nice to have. Navigation for group two, group three for remote and collaboration, group four, history, group five, debugging, or should I call it like firefighting, SRE kind of stuff. Group six, advanced things. Group seven, collaboration in another way, as in like sending emails and pull requests. We were gonna talk about that. And group eight for maintenance or like cleaning up stuff. There are some commands that you'll see with an asterisk. Those are not standalone commands. They are achieved in some other way. I still decided to put them here because I think it's mostly, well, quality of life kind of series of commands that are useful. And here we go. On top of this, you have a search bar in the website, so you can even like look for something. Like I want to look for tag. This is everything that can manipulate tags in a way. So I think it's pretty neat. Two disclaimers. One, I did not do the front end. I absolutely do not do front end or CSS. It still scares me. I prefer resolving merge conflicts. So Copilot really helped me doing all the graphical stuff. And two, yes, there are missing Git commands. I know I will probably add some later, but I also wanted to have a very rectangular table for now. I know the original one is not really rectangular, but details. I will probably add some more commands again. And the repo will be open source. Actually, it is already open source. I will share it at the end, so you're free to also send in some PRs to fix any eventual mistake that I did and to add more commands. Let's start with git init. Okay, I want to initialize one of my repos. I go on with this foundational element, and I just start with a couple of, well, also there is a link to the official documentation in case you want to go through and really look for every single parameter. I figured to just do like a little summary in here. And I would say that here I started my first project, Git init. I had no idea how to push it yet. And this is a very, very safe command. In this basically pop-up, we have the group of belonging, when to use the command, and the reactivity level. The reactivity level can be stable, it can be destructive. We will see based on the command. Let's, for example, do the commit, still stable, because again, when you commit something, you're not doing anything aside from putting your local changes in a checkpoint state, basically, and that is safe. Let's take push, for example. Push is reactive because commands can change the shared state and communicate with the remote. This is how, a little bit to make you understand how I reasoned to make my friend understand what is the rationale behind all the groups and their activity level of the commands. So let's say, for example, we have git status, everyone knows it, displays the status of the working directory. I did not know, for example, some of the parameters, because in order to make this talk, I did some more research on top of my old notes, and I discovered that there is a porcelain for the machine readable format. That's great. And we have a new activity level, which is inert. Git status doesn't do anything. You can run it all day. It's not going to change anything locally or remotely, so it's completely 100% safe. And well, in a way, if you have a test repo, everything is kind of safe. So if you are learning it or if your friend is learning it, do not give an actual repo as a reference, because unfortunately I did, and it was not fun. So yeah. Then git config. Oh yes, I love git config because a lot of times I had to actually switch my signature. I know there is a global setting and a per repo setting, but sometimes I was just lazy and just switched the global. I created a script to just change that. And of course, you can check all of your carriage return, everything. Like this is a little bit, I would say, one of the first steps in order to have your Git life in order. Have a good Git config. Um, Raise of hand, how many of you save their Git config when they migrate from another laptop, from a new laptop or whatever? Because I do have a repo that just has my config. Otherwise, I would lose all of my aliases and I would be super, super, super sad. In fact, git alias is not really a separate command. I wanted to call it a command, but it's actually still git config and you create your alias. I have many of those. Many of those are not conventional. They're not like these usual ones that I listed here. I do like my aliases to be complex. And yeah, sometimes they don't work, and I had to actually debug why. But yeah, it's pretty sick that you can really shape your Git as you want. You might also think, for example, if your friend is not an English speaker, like I am, you can just say, hey, you can change the names of the commands to Italian names or Spanish names. That's also something that some folks are a fan of. I don't agree because then if you have to look for solutions, you forget which is what is the original command. It's a little bit like we said before. We want to know what happens behind the scenes, and that's actually why we're using the CLI, and we don't really use the UI that much. So yeah, group one, I'm not gonna go through each and every command. I'm just gonna switch to group two for navigation. Think about navigation in the way that I envisioned it is more like everything about your branches and how you move through the repo, how you move to the different states of the repo, and our Lord and Savior reflog. But we're gonna check it out later. So checking out, you know already, most probably in the room better than me. You just go and check out a branch, and well, you can also check out commits. This is something that I didn't really do before, but recently I realized that I can check out different commits. I had to do it like a couple of days ago, actually. And it was very fun. I knew you could check out tags. I had no idea about the commits. Then, well, git branch, you create a branch, and you can also delete a branch, can delete a remote branch. I initially had a hard time really understanding the difference between deleting a remote branch and a local branch, but then I wrapped my head around it. We have the tags. Tags, I'm very guilty here because like I never use semantic versioning unless I'm in an open source project. For my own projects, I use just names for the tags. I think I can really understand it better if I have a name for my release than just a number. But this is how I work. Do not do this at home or in a project where there are multiple people. And then reflog. So for reflog, this has been crucial. I don't know how many times in my career. I would say that in general, um, well, you do want to know where your head has been for like up to 90 days by default, but even more if you change the config. And you can do, it's basically a git undo history for the undo history. Like you can save your, well, I'm not saying that word, but you can save yourself with this command by recovering your lost commits. Another command that I would really like to give a shout out to is bisect, finding bugs. You start your bisecting process. There is a binary search algorithm that is going to help you to understand when a certain bug has appeared. And then you can absolutely revert to the commit before and fix it with a hotfix. Like this has been super, super useful for me to really fix some bad stuff, especially in production. That has been a great ride when I used to be an engineer. Another fun command, re. I had no idea about this, so thanks to my colleague Emmanuel who told me about it. It's reuse recorded resolution, which basically reapplies, remembers merge conflicts and how you solved it, and reapplies the same kind of resolution. This is really helpful in case you have long-lived branches, and you have a lot of times the similar or same conflicts, especially when you have rebases in your repos. So yeah, this is basically it. I don't remember exactly how much time I have. I think I have another 2 minutes, maybe. I hope so. Just feel free to stop me. I just want to say about send email and request poll. Again, once again, no idea about these. I researched and I discovered through this research, and thanks also to Taylor Blau, that Git is actually a mailing list, exactly like Linux, like the Linux kernel. And I had no idea that this was the case. I was convinced for some reason that it was just a repo on GitHub. There is a mirror, but the actual work is still sent through patches and emails. So this is a useful command for folks that work in that way. And it's amazing how far it went, still maintaining the same exact structure. It's really cool and amazing how many people work on Git and allow us to have a job, because without Git, I wouldn't have a job. I always like to say this. So yeah, I really hope that you can have this silly little periodic table, maybe give it to your kids, maybe print it even. I should add something to just print the table itself. So you can really learn Git in a simple way and demystify it even for people that are maybe not so technical, but they would like to start doing some coding, and Git is fundamental for every single thing. So bye everyone, and I hope you're ready to Git good.